So good afternoon, everyone. You're all very welcome to our information session today, where I will be talking to you about the opportunities available for mature students to upskill or retrain by returning to education in Cavan Institute. So my name is Aoife Ward. I'm one of the guidance counsellors here at the college, and I've worked with many mature students throughout the 15 years that I've been working in Cavan Institute. They often start their journey in September feeling quite nervous and worried, and there's some self-doubt there about how the year is going to go. However, by the end of the year in May, most of these students have transformed into confident, self-assured students, achieving excellent grades and feeling so excited for their future. So usually they will have overcome some barriers or challenges along the way, and this makes their success even sweeter. So today we're going to look at upskilling for mature students, unemployed, people who are at home, people who want to return to education, whether they've been there out of education for a long time or recently just losing their job or reducing their hours from the pandemic. So first I'll just give you a brief introduction to Cavan Institute, then we'll talk about the opportunities for upskilling and progression, the opportunities that exist for you as a mature student. We'll take a look at our courses. We have 64 courses running this year, so it'll be a brief look at our courses, but I'll bring you through them. Then I'll talk to you about fees and funding, which again is very important to start considering and working out how you might cover the costs of returning to education. Then I will look at student supports, and I'll give you a rundown of the structure that's in place here to make sure that you succeed in your goals and objectives for the year. Then we have a course starting in June, on the 8th of June. It's called Getting Ready for Cavan Institute, and this course will be a brilliant way for you to prepare to start your college course in September. So I'll talk you through that and give you all the details on that. And then lastly, we'll talk about the benefits of doing a PLC course, just to wrap up the presentation, and if there are any questions we can take them at the end. So we have Orla in the background. She's helping me with the moderating this afternoon, so if you do have any questions, just make sure and pop them in the chat there, and Orla will help you out as we move through it today. So just to give you an overview and set some context for the presentation today. Cavan Institute, it's the third largest further education institute in Ireland. You come to us to do a level 5 or a level 6 qualification, and these qualifications are fully recognised nationally and internationally on the National Framework of Qualifications of Ireland. You can use this qualification as a route to employment or as a route to higher education, and we'll talk a lot more about that today. If you want to make an application for a course, you apply directly to the college, and our website is cavaninstitute.ie, so you apply through our website, and the entry requirements for our courses are Leaving Cert or Leaving Cert Applied or a full QQI level 4 award. So we don't use a points system, and for mature students, who we will be mostly talking to today, mature students, there's equal consideration given to mature students. You know, if you don't meet those entry requirements, we look at your application on an individual basis through our admissions team. So the next thing we're going to look at now is upskilling and progression for mature learners. So I'm just going to explain here how you can use your qualification from Cavan Institute to upskill and move forward in your career. So mature students come from a range of backgrounds and very often different life experiences. We've met mature students from all walks of life. They come to study with us after long-term unemployment. Some might have been laid off work. Some have been working at home, minding the kids, and they're ready to return to education. And others, it's their time. They decide they're going to take the leap of faith and just go for the career that they've always dreamed of or always wanted. But they hadn't had the chance maybe earlier on in life, but now's the time for them to do that, and they come and start studying in the career that they're passionate about. So in the diagram here, you can see that as a mature student, you can come into Cavan Institute at a QQI level 5 level. So this is a one-year course. You start in September, it's a full-time course, and you finish in May, and you achieve a QQI level 5 award at the end of the year. You can also then move on to a level 6, which is a second year program. And again, that we have lots of opportunity for level 6 courses in Cavan Institute. If you have studied a QQI level 5 course before, so you've completed a program at level 5, maybe a few years back, again, you're very welcome to come and look at the level 6 opportunities that are open to you. So we would encourage you to, if you're thinking about it, to really start to have the conversation with us now about the courses, the fees, the opportunities, maybe start looking at a career path and progression. And again, even if that's down the road for you and it's not on your agenda yet, what we see with mature students is they sometimes come in with, self-doubt. They don't think that they will be able to achieve it. But maybe halfway through the year, when they see, the really good results that they're getting, they can see that, opportunities are opening up for them in terms of employment and in terms of further education. So it can be something that it moves as you go along. So definitely, if you're looking at September, now is the time to really start talking to us about it. Let us know if you've got any questions. Contact the college and we can talk you through all of the queries that you might have. And again, no questions are stupid questions. We have heard all the questions before, and we have dealt with students in all different situations. And we really do feel passionate about supporting mature students through their learning. We have a really, really good track record of helping people. So the direct route after you do your level 5 or your level 6, you have it does open up lots of opportunities for employment. So approximately 30% of our graduates go straight into employment every year. And in some areas, some courses, it would be up to 100% of students that would go directly into the workplace. So these courses would be barbering and hairdressing, beauty therapy, healthcare support, where students would be employed as in the nursing homes or in the hospital setting, professional cookery, childcare. There's some sports coaching, personal training courses where people would move on and either open up their own businesses or move into employment. Then there's, the other option would be higher education. So higher education is from level 6 to level 10, and that would be where you go to study it in an institute of technology or a university. So one of the huge advantages that we see for all of our students, but especially for mature students, is that you develop so many personal and professional skills during your time with us. So you develop your communication skills, you develop your confidence, you start to really trust yourself and show that initiative and, get involved in working in teams. So the mature students can really flourish in the classroom environment. They bring a big energy to the classroom, and they often, there's often really strong friendships that get built during the year between the younger learners and the mature students. So it is really important for us that we encourage as many mature learners as possible to come to Cavan Institute, and they just add to the life around the institute so much. So fees. So fees is really important consideration. Especially as a mature student, it's really important that you start looking at how you're going to fund the course, because we want you to be able to hit the ground running in September and make sure that you have structures in place that support you and make sure that you're able to follow through on your work, and that fees and financial situations are not stressing you out. So you can see here the registration fee is €250, and €50 of this is a booking fee, which is non-refundable. So that's the registration fee. Then we have a €200 PLC government levy fee that is part of the fees, and then €50 for a QQI exam fee. If you have a medical card, or if you're eligible for the SUSI grant, then you will be exempt from both the PLC government levy and the QQI exam fee. So that would be instead of €500, it would be €250. Then in the other orange quadrant, it's like a question mark. We've got course fees then that they vary depending on the particular course that you're studying. And this is why I would encourage you to really start looking at the courses, start looking at the fees that are involved, and make a plan for how you're going to be prepared for September. All of the fee information is on our website. Orla will share that in the chat so that you can access that information. But there's specific fee information on each individual course, and it really depends on the equipment. Some courses might need a kit or uniforms. There might be, the different costs that are involved, and we've broken it all down for you, so there's no surprises. And we would encourage you to start looking at that and planning for that. And the other thing about Cavan Institute is we work very much with students around payment plans. We would try to work with you the best that we can to make sure that, if payments need to be spread out across the year or across the first couple of months, we can definitely facilitate that. So come and talk to us, make sure that you're touching base with us and letting us know where you're at. If there are any difficulties around fees, let us see if we can assist with the payment plan and put something in place for you. So on the bottom left-hand side there, I've just listed the funding options that are available to students at Cavan Institute. And tomorrow's lunchtime session is going to look at student finance. So we look at these in a lot more detail. So if you are in the position where you're thinking, how do I finance it all? What's available to me? What can I access? Then tomorrow is a really good session to tune into. And for now, I'm just going to highlight the three options. So the first one is the SUSI grant. The SUSI, it's means tested, and they pay you a maintenance grant, so it's a monthly payment that they give you to help with your costs. So it's open. The applications on SUSI are open at the minute. You apply on their website, so that's www.susi.ie, and the closing date for the application is the 8th of July this year. So you've a little over a month to get going with that. And again, tomorrow we'll be able to give you a lot more information on how you access the SUSI grant and what are the important things to take into consideration when you're making your application. Second is BTEA. So this is Back to Education Allowance. And this is a payment that you can apply for if you're in receipt of a social welfare payment at the moment. Then you can apply to transfer that payment into a Back to Education Allowance payment. So you contact your local social welfare office to find out about your individual circumstances and your individual situation. But this is a fantastic fantastic program which allows students to move off the payment that they're currently on with social welfare, and you remain with social welfare but on a different payment. So it's called Back to Education Allowance. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Then the next one is VTOS. So at Cavan Institute, we have some places available through the VTOS scheme, and you can apply for VTOS if you're over 21 years of age, if you're in receipt of a social welfare payment, and if you're participating in a full-time course at Cavan Institute. So all of the information on VTOS is available on our website. You can download the application form from there, and again, Orla might share that for me in the chat. And you fill out your application form and you send it back into the college to Adrienne. She's dealing with the VTOS scheme, and the deadline on that is the beginning of August. So more information on this tomorrow, and also lots of information on our website on VTOS. So I think that's all for the fees. We'll move on to student supports, which again, it's another really, really critical area. If you're a mature student returning to education, we know that you might have some worries around it. You might have been out of education for a long time, or you might have been an early school leaver. You might have not really engaged in education for a long time. So we're really, really supportive of mature students coming back, and we understand how they feel. But the way we see it, and in our experience in Cavan Institute, mature students, they might feel nervous or apprehensive, but that's at different stages of the process. The advantage for mature students is that they have life experience, and in our experience in Cavan Institute, mature students are resilient, and they don't give up. You know, they stick with it, they work really hard, and that definitely shows at the end of the year when they get really, really good grades in their qualification at the end. So the other advantage for mature learners is that the staff at Cavan Institute are really passionate as well about their success. So the tutors are really experienced in their subject area. You know, they're there to support and encourage you all the way. They know the potential barriers or challenges that might crop up for you. So, you know, definitely if you're thinking about a return for September, you know, start taking action on it, start talking to us. We're definitely there to support you. We have, you know, experienced working with mature students for a long number of years now, and we're very committed to facilitating, you know, what it is that you need, making sure you have access to the program that you want, that you're able to participate, and that you're going to be successful at the end. So definitely talk to us about it. So just here on this diagram, I'll just give you a brief run through of how the student support, the academic support system works. As a student, your first point of contact would be with the subject tutor. You'll have a subject tutor in each module that you study. So you will get to know them, you'll know them on a first name basis. You know, they're there, you work together, and you know, you move through the year that way. There's a class tutor then who would be the overall point of contact for your course. And then there's a school head. So you saw the 4 schools, we've divided them out. There's a school head in each school, and they're also another point of contact to support you and help you and make sure that everything is moving along as it should. Then outside of the academic supports, there's lots of structures around to help you. So you can access career guidance and counselling support throughout the year. You'll be assigned a point of contact in the guidance department in September, and again, you can work with them throughout the year with any guidance issues. There's a pastoral care team working to build supports, and then we have the Open Learning Centre as well. So the Open Learning Centre is the Special Educational Needs and Disability Supports Centre. So we have Maureen and Fela who work in this area, and they are there to assess students' needs and put in place the provision. So provide assistance and support for students where possible, so that again they can fully access and participate on the course and achieve the educational goals and objectives. So again, if that's relevant for you and the Open Learning, you want to access some supports from the Open Learning Centre, you can indicate that on your application form that you would like to apply for additional support, and then they will be in contact with you in early September to do a needs assessment and start the process to put the supports in place. Okay, so we'll move on now to the course Getting Ready for Cavan Institute. So this course is coming up in the next week and a bit. It's starting on the 8th of June, and this is called Getting Ready for Cavan Institute. So it's an ideal course, an ideal opportunity for you to prepare for September. Basically, the course is run by CMETB Adult Education Service, and they'll look at study skills, time management, they'll help you with some IT skills, look at communication, research skills, academic writing and referencing, understanding and completing assessments, introduction to online forums like Moodle, MS Teams and webinars, and a career guidance session. So again, a brilliant introduction and a good chance for you to start to get prepared for September. So again, the details are on that flyer there for anyone who's interested in accessing that course. It is a short course now in June, and Orla again will share that with you in the chat. So lastly then, I'm just going to finish up. We will look at the benefits of studying a PLC course in Cavan Institute. So you can see here, I've talked through most of it, and I see we are going over time. Sorry about that. So I'll wrap it up here. You can see the benefits. We have lower fees and funding options available. You get a chance to experience a career area, which is really beneficial for you to start planning for your future. There's excellent progression to higher education and employment opportunities. You spend the year really developing yourself personally and professionally, which is fantastic for everything and anything that you do afterwards. And then the work placement is a really valuable part, and we also offer an Erasmus program where you can get to study in a European country for part of your work experience. So again, that's been a really valuable part of the program for a lot of students over the year. So we'll wrap it up there. If you're, thinking of return to education, you feel like you're ready to do a course and you're not quite sure where to start or who to talk to, just get in contact with us. You can get all the information on our website. You can email us. We're at guidance@cavininstitute.ie or admin@cavininstitute.ie. And I mean, we're more than willing and happy to help you, and we'd love to see you start to prepare for your return back to education and help you get organised for September. So I'll leave it at that. I just want to let you know about the events that are coming up this evening. We have Brenda School, the Creative Practices Computing and Engineering School is on this evening. Starts at 7 o'clock with talks from computing. Then we have creative media at 7:30 and design at 8 o'clock, and then music, sound and performing arts tutors and students at 8:30. So again, please join us if you can. You'll hear lots of information, yeah, we'll hopefully get talking to you and see you soon. Thank you so much.